Hello and welcome to a new Lead with Soft Skills podcast. Me, your host and coach, JP Warren. These podcasts are all about giving you necessary tools and skill sets to navigate through whether it's personal or professional challenges and how you can communicate better and tell your story. We just did an episode on dominating your job interviews and kind of how to prepare before, during, and even after your job interview and how to navigate that. And one thing that we talked about is the importance of telling your story, how to tell stories in your interviews, in different situations. And storytelling is important, not when you're just kind of communicating to the board or if you're talking to a group of friends or if you're trying to kind of get out there and kind of influence your audience, but it's also so crucial during every day of our lives. It's how we connect, it's how we communicate. Think about back in time, the human history. How do people connect? People gather around, they sit around, and they tell stories. So again, this is how we're going to tell stories in a job interview that's going to help you communicate your value, and not only that, what you've gone through, and also how you've achieved your results. This is all about helping you tell your story and not go through your resume, not go through your LinkedIn line item by line item, because chances are they already have that. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the STAR method, all right, the STAR method, and we're going to kind of get into what STAR means. But another way to think about this is just think of how stories are told. You got to give a background, you got to set the stage, you have to kind of give the challenges that the main character faced, which is you, and also what you overcame and the results. So think about putting yourself in the story, putting yourself as the main character in a story, all right? And this is a great way to do this. This is a great way to communicate your value, what you've been through, what you've succeeded with, what challenges you faced, all through a simple method called the STAR method. This is used whenever they ask a question about kind of a behavior-based question. Tell me about a time when you did this. Tell me how you achieved this. Tell me about a time when X, Y, Z happened. What did you do? So the STAR method is a great way. And again, start thinking about these common questions that come up during job interviews. Greatest strengths, greatest weaknesses. Tell me at a time where you worked together as a team. Tell me at a time where you overcame something. Think about the questions that they're going to ask you and start prepping them. So once you start kind of building out the STAR method, you can start packing that in your toolbox. That way you're not kind of on the spot thinking, and not only that, your brain is accustomed to thinking and actually communicating this way. So even when they do ask you a question that might catch you off guard, which some interviews do, even when they do ask you a question that might catch you off guard, this is a great way to tell your story, be the main character who is heroic, and what you can do for, this is what I did at this company, and this is what I can do for you at this company, if you want the job. Okay, so let's dive into the STAR method. And again, this is for behavior-based questions. So tell me about a time where you did this. Tell me about a time where you achieved this. So again, let's start off with this. You have to paint the picture, okay? So the STAR method, S, stands for the situation, all right? Situation. Again, I'm nervous about spelling in front of people. I don't know why, even if it's the easiest word, but again, that's just me. Let me go through that. So, situation. Paint the picture for the story, okay? Don't get too lost in the details. Oh, I had this many teammates and all this stuff. Paint the picture of the story. What was your position? What was the background? Were you dealing with any sort of budget constraints? Were you dealing with any external influences that might have affected on how your team can navigate? So again, start off with the situation, okay? You were at this company, at this position, you were there this many years, and one of the biggest challenges was X. That is your task. That's when we go down here to T. That is your task, all right? What were you tasked with in achieving? So think about a movie, think about any story that you read or anything like that. The picture is the backdrop. That's chapter 1, all right? And think about it, the short story, all right? That's the backdrop. Hey, it was a cold, rainy day in August. This is what happened, yada, yada, yada. You want to paint the picture of the situation. The task is that challenge that's right in front of you. The task is that challenge that was put in your lap either by your boss or external factors, all right? So the task is, again, if you think about how a story starts, right? It starts off with the story and it has the task, the challenge. The challenge that is the challenge of what the main character is facing, all right? That's the plot. That's where it thickens. That's the good stuff. That brings people in. So what were you tasked with, all right? What was you or your team tasked with in reviewing, looking at, uncovering, diving into whatever that is, okay? So boom. I'm here. I'm dialed in. I got the situation. I understand what's going on. I have the challenge, the challenge that the hero, you, need to overcome, okay? So now, you have the task, you have the situation. What do you do with that? You take action. That's what the third thing stands for, action, okay? What action did you take to achieve this task, okay? So what was some of the things that maybe you implemented, some of the stuff that you tried, some of the stuff you might have tried to mobilize your team to do, okay? So what were some of the actions that you took to accomplish that task, all right? So again, situation, task, action, okay? So once you're telling the story, all right, you start off with a situation. Keep that broad, okay? Don't get lost in the details. Again, this situation, that's your hook. You're painting the picture for your audience. The task is the challenge, okay? If you got to return the ring, that's Frodo returning the ring. That's the task he took, okay? The situation, everything's, I'm not a Hobbit person, but I'm just thinking of Hobbit right now because I'm talking. All right, the situation, everything's fine in Hobbit land, everything's dandy, everything's fine. The task is someone has to return a ring, the Lord of the Rings. Someone's got to return this to whatever that thing is. I don't even know what it is. Just go with me here. What actions were taken? So, Frodo gathered a team. He had to walk XYZ. He did so many different challenges along the way. All right, again, not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but again, this is one of those things where it's a great story. It's a great story because it has these ingredients, okay? Every great story has these ingredients, okay? All right, so again, whether he teamed up, he faced all these things from the second Middle Earth, underworld, wherever, whatever, doesn't matter, all right? And then the final thing, what is the results? What is the thing that you achieved from your actions to attack the task, the challenge, in the situation, all right? So R is results, okay? And now think about this. Most of the time, we try to tell kind of our story is based on data and facts, okay? I would highly recommend removing all data and facts from the first 3 steps. Really tie this in, all right? You want percentages, you want improvement, you want efficiencies. So really the results, that really drives the nail in the coffin. That really sends the information home on what you did and what you accomplished. And even if this is one of those things to use whenever things are telling about yourself in a positive way, even a negative way, okay? Because sometimes they're gonna ask you about your weaknesses. They're gonna ask you about things that might not be achievements or successes. But again, telling stories and storytelling allows you to connect on a better level with your target audience, okay? So again, situation, task, action, and results. Tie in your results on what you actually did, what you and your team actually did through your actions, okay? So again, right here, you're gonna paint the picture with a story, okay? You're gonna build up the task at hand, the challenge that you and your team faced. Boom, right here. What was the action that was taken? We did this. We implemented this. We tried out this software. We set up new processes. We actually reached out to vendors to discuss pricing. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter what that is, okay? And even if you're a student, okay, you can even use this when you're a student and you don't even have any experience. Were you a participant, part of a team? Did you research for a group? Did you lead a study group? It doesn't matter, okay? Using this framework is a great way to connect with your audience, all right? And right here, what were the results, okay? What was accomplished, all right? So again, everything's fine in the Middle Earth. Frodo's hanging out, chilling with the hobbits. Task, he gets a ring he's got to do something with because it apparently makes him real weird. All right, what actions did he take? He did X, Y, and Z to get that ring to Mordor, whatever, okay? What was the results? Ended up saving everyone. Everyone's all happy. And they wrote 15 other books, prequels, sequels, all that stuff behind it. Again, so when you approach an interview, work on your STAR method. Practice this even when it comes to anything throughout your day. The more you train your brain, again, it's like soft skills. Soft skills are what? It's a skill set. It can be learned, practiced, and mastered. The more you train your brain with how to think and the STAR method, how to think and how to communicate your story, at least your story as a story, that's going to help connect you with people. That's going to bridge you and help people connect with you and understand what you can actually do for the job you're going for. Okay, so again, work on the STAR method. Let me know what you think. And again, if this might be one of those things where this, hey, listen, there's 4 steps in here telling a story, that's fine. Then kind of simplify this, all right? What was the situation? What was the challenges? And what did you do to get the result that you wanted? Okay, so Again, good luck out there whenever you are facing these interviews. Storytell, storytell, storytell. You hear about this non-stop, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales pitches, whether it's influencing team. Tell your story, tell it properly, and ace that interview. Good luck everyone out there. And hey, if you did enjoy this, please share, please comment. These are very fun and very motivating to do. It's always very motivating whenever someone comments or someone shares or someone likes or even someone chimes in saying, hey, I appreciate this episode. So I dig it. I appreciate it. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you're liking it, please share it. Make sure you subscribe. And we got some more soft skills lessons coming your way. So thank you. And I'm JP, and we'll see you soon.